Hello, I am Shauna Snow, an MBA candidate at Cape Breton University enrolled in a strategic management course, and my professor is Dr. Jacqueline Scott. The company I chose for my final project is Chipotle Mexican Grill, Inc. This presentation will include a brief history of the company, talk about how the company creates value, their strategies, their structure, and their financial situation. I also utilized a few tools to analyze the company's position, and they include a BCG matrix, Porter's Five Forces, a TOES matrix, and I will provide two recommendations for future strategies. The business was founded in 1993 by Steve Ells when he opened his first store in Denver, Colorado. By 1996, Ells had opened 7 more stores in Colorado. Expanding outside of this state was certainly a financial challenge. In 1998, he sent a business proposal to McDonald's, and within 3 years, McDonald's owned a large portion of Chipotle. McDonald's investment of $360 million allowed Ells to open 500 more restaurants outside of Colorado. By 2006, Ells wanted out of his agreement with McDonald's, as they were in favor of expanding into the global market. Ells felt it was too soon to do so, so once out of his agreement, Ells went public with Chipotle. The first day, Chipotle stock doubled, and Ells became a very rich man, able to run the company the way he wanted to. Chipotle creates value for its customers in its products by using higher quality, healthy ingredients, and uses cooking techniques found in higher-end restaurants. Chipotle led the pack when it started using zero-trans fat cooking oil in 2004. Providing food with integrity is Chipotle's mission, and this guides every decision they make. Chipotle is true to its mission when it comes to goodwill and their social responsibility. Their commitment is reflected in the food they sell to their customers, something for everyone: vegans, vegetarians, and gluten allergies, the environmentally friendly way in which their restaurants are built, and the open, honest, transparent way in which they do business. And during each of the last 4 years, Chipotle has invested $21.9 million to goodwill. Upper management is committed to ensure the efforts to improve service, products, and maintain the environment are making things better. Knowing that the food is fresh is not enough for Ells. Ells began to look at ways in which food was produced and processed. What he found was quite disturbing. Pigs and dairy cows were raised in confinement and injected with hormones, and produce was grown without any regard for the environment. Ells partnered with producers to look at ways to naturally raise meats and responsibly grow produce. Their dedication was realized in respectful and workable methods. In 2000, the company started serving naturally raised pork, and in 2002 was serving naturally raised chickens. By 2010, all the pork and chicken served was naturally raised. 2006, Chipotle was serving 60% of naturally raised beef and now serves 100% of this beef. Since 2006, Chipotle has not used cheese or sour cream with RBGH. 40% of their black beans are organic. Their local food program is taking off. Chipotle's strategy is to win over millennials by offering them a healthier, fresher choice than was already available in the market. Chipotle is also involved in the catering business. They can serve 6 to 200. This year, Chipotle is increasing its restaurant site numbers by 165 to 180 sites to compensate for its soft same-store sales growth. For the first quarter of 2013, revenue growth was at 13.4%, but comparable store sales were up by only 1%. Chipotle is also introducing a new brand, Shop House Southeast Asian Kitchen, where they will serve noodle bowls, curries, and stir-fries. The first restaurant opened in Washington, D.C. in September 2011. The company has shied away from big traditional advertising campaigns, thinking younger customers would not connect with the brand. They very seldom advertise on TV and have a very small budget for marketing. A functional structure is appropriate for Chipotle as the company is growing quickly, and hiring specialists with the appropriate education and experience in the various functional areas allows the executive directors to enhance its coordination and control within each of the functional areas. Another way they maintain control is by not franchising their stores. For the last 7 years, Chipotle Mexican Grill has seen revenues grow from $822 million to $2.7 billion. Net income has increased significantly to $278 million from $41.4 million in 2006. This increase is in part to Chipotle having the fastest growing sales among its peers, and it has been putting more money into advertising, which has been bringing people into their restaurants. 2008 saw average sales at $1.76 million, and they have grown to $2.7 million in 2012. Growth over the last year was at 16.77%, 4.47% above the industry standard of 12.3%. Chipotle Mexican Grilling has two business units, the Mexican Grill and the ShopHouse Southeast Asian Kitchen. The Mexican Grill is placed in the star quadrant as it continues to grow and maintain a relative market share in the fast casual market. The ShopHouse Southeast Asian Kitchen is placed in the question mark quadrant. The restaurant opened its doors in September 2011 and is doing well, but it is too early to determine its success or failure in the market. An industry analysis completed utilizing Porter's 5 forces has produced the following results. The threat of substitution is high as there are endless amounts of substitutes for Chipotle's customers to choose from. The rivalry among competing firms is high in the food and beverage industry. Direct competition in the Mexican food business is Moe's Southwest Grill and Taco Bell, to name a few. They are competing for the same customers in the Mexican quick service segment. The bargaining of suppliers is moderate. The ingredients required by Chipotle are easy to find, but Chipotle has very high standards and a lengthy list of criteria that the supplier must meet before the company will purchase the supplier's product. As a result of these strict guidelines, suppliers can demand higher prices for their products. The bargaining power of customers within the fast casual segment is high as the customer's preferences and opinions can determine Chipotle's success. If the quality of the food and service decreases or the price goes up, customers will just switch to the competition. The threat of new entrants is high as there are very few barriers to enter the industry if they have the money and drive. Having analyzed the micro and macro environment of Chipotle, there are 2 recommendations I would highlight as future strategies for the company. First, since the cost of the ingredients and supplies continues to increase in price, Chipotle should consider backward integration. If they were to buy their own farms, they could produce their ingredients at a cheaper price and pass this savings on to their customers through their menu prices. It would also allow them more control over their supply chain. Second, competition is high in the quick service food segment, and rivalry among these restaurants is mainly based on taste, price, service, and quality. In order to remain competitive and knowledgeable about consumer tastes and trends, Chipotle should invest in R&D. Chipotle is a company that appears to be doing everything right, and this year marks their 20th anniversary. What started as a small burrito and taco restaurant has grown into a well-recognized brand. In closing, I am leaving you with a short video that will provide you with insight into Chipotle's unique way of advertising. The video will pull on your heartstrings, and you won't even realize that you're being sold something. The only branding evident in the video is the Chipotle logo shown briefly at the end. Thank you for listening.
I was just guessing at numbers and figures, pulling the puzzles apart. Questions of science, science and progress don't speak as loud as my heart. Nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to part. Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be so hard. I'm going back to the start.